Hello and welcome to my PMP review training. As per my promise, I'll keep you connected, I'll keep you motivated. So I have planned another sprint. Now it's not 25 days, it's 15 days where you will be doing following activities. Number one, you will be watching the videos which will be uploading on daily basis. Plus, as I have already sent you today's questions, so I'll keep sending you questions every day before the end of the day. What you guys have to do, watch the video of that 10-15 minutes, solve those questions, and send me your answers before you are going to sleep. Or if you cannot, send me in the morning next day. So in order to continue the pace, as it will be like fast track program, we have to learn, we have to cooperate, we have to follow. If the PMP is your goal, if PMP is your motive, then let's go, let's kick it started. So we are starting from chapter number 1. I have covered all the chapter, all the topics which are in this chapter. Let's go, what is it inside? We said that PMI PMP, a book which is called as PMBOK, Project Management Body of Knowledge. It's a guide to PMBOK, which contains the standards and good practices collected from different parts of the world, from different industries of the world, which have given good results. So if you will follow those guidelines, if you will follow those frameworks and standards, that can also help your organization to get successful project. Once your project will be successful, which means it will become your best practice also. As per PMI, they never provide methodology. They always provide a standard and framework, and every organization can build their own methodology based on their organization terminologies, based on their organization rules and regulations. What is a project? Project is temporary endeavor undertaken to produce a unique output, a product, a result, or a service. That output could be a product or a result or a service, which means we will be doing a project because customer needs it, because maybe the regulatory requirements, because maybe the government requirements, because maybe the compliance requirement, because maintenance, because shutdown, because servicing, because new laws are coming over, because our old product is going to be expired, the product life cycle is going to be finished. We need to fix some products, we need to upgrade, we need to update, we need to maintain. There are so many reasons to start a project. Projects are executed in any organization to bring the change. But whenever we will execute even the similar projects, even with the similar plans, the output will always be unique to that project, unique in terms of product or a service. Product means it could be a tangible thing. Service means like facilitations. You will hire a consultant and they will do some feasibility study for you. Result, the financial analysis or also some financial studies can be done on your behalf, or you can ask someone to make for you. So those are the reasons why we undertake the project. We do the project because we need to make a transition from our current state to future state. So project is actually a change agent which helps organization to bring change into their existing capacity. So to move from one capacity to another, or from one state to another, organizations performs project of any kind of organizations. We said it's applicable in oil and gas, construction, mechanical, IT, service sector, marketing, advertisement, real estate, everywhere we do the projects. Why? Because we need to improve ourselves. No one can say that we are 100%. So to bring the improvement, to bring the new things, we need to do a project. And every time we will do a project, it will bring the unique output. Whenever we are going to do the project, we have to do some feasibility studies. We have to prepare some action plans. So we can make sure that whatever we have been doing it, everything is being in alignment of organization goals and objectives, and they will provide some values also. If they are not providing any values, there is no benefit of executing the projects. These values could be tangible or intangible. Tangible means your monetary assets will increase. Intangible means your values will increase, your recognition, your goodwill of the brand, your trademarks, or maybe you are doing some projects for public benefits for the nation. But ultimately, they will bring some values, whether tangible or intangible. What's the difference between project and operations? Projects are always temporary, while operations are always continuous. In projects, we work with heterogeneous teams, which means you will be interacting with multiple diversified teams who have different talents, who have different methodologies, they belong from different parts of the world. While in operations, you are working in homogeneous teams, which means you will be the subject matter expert, but your expertise will be limited to a single field. In operations, whatever we do, everything is predefined, approved, and fully known. While in projects, you plan it, but it's progressively elaborated. As the time goes by, the clarity will be better than before. That was a simple definition and differentiation between project and operations. We cannot get all the benefits from the project. For example, if I need to make a hospital, so making the building of the hospital will never bring the advantage of the hospital. So for that, we execute programs. What is program? It's a set of interrelated components or projects to achieve or maximize the benefits. For example, if I have a project to construct the building for hospital, then second, I will bring the infrastructure inside the hospital. Then third project could be like making the facilities, getting it registered to the hospital, and also running it for some time. So people start coming and they get treatment and then they get better. So once we do interrelated projects, that is called as program. Who decide those programs or those projects? Portfolio management, who deals with the strategic objectives of the organization. To keep strategic objectives aligned, the portfolio guys, the portfolio managers, what they do, they run multiple programs and multiple projects. Sometimes projects are directly reporting to portfolio, sometimes they are being given to the program and the program is providing the alignment with strategic objectives. So we said portfolio is related with strategic objectives, program management is related to benefits management, and project management is related to stakeholder needs and expectations. If you will do the project in program management, you can get more benefits which you cannot achieve while only doing it as a project. There were some vocabularies, the components. We said what was project life cycle? Project life cycle, the number of phases you will do to complete the project will be the project life cycle. There was another one, product life cycle, which means from concept to operation to phase out is called as product life cycle. What are the phase, or what is the definition of phase? It's a collection of activities which will give you a deliverable. Phase gate, to move from current phase to another phase, you need to get authorizations and approval for the current phase, that yes, we acknowledge your first phase is completed and now you can start the second phase. So phase gate is an authorization for the current phase closing as well as initiating the next phase. Project management processes, which contains activities which require some input and they will be producing some outputs. If this output is for the final process, it will be the final output. Otherwise, this output will be the input to next process. Project management process groups, there are 5: initiating, planning, executing, monitoring, and controlling, and closing, which are defined by or divided by objectives. Project management knowledge areas, which are divided by functionalities, and I have given you a shortcut STC QRRPICS. And these are the 5 process groups. In initiating, we get the commitment. In planning, we do the things in detail. We prepare ourselves. We do our homework. We do our maths. So we always have a plan. We always have a plan B. We always have a fallback plan, contingency plans, everything. Once our baselines are approved, then we will execute it. While executing, we have to monitor and control, to check ourselves, to check our variances, to realign them, for any defect repair, for any preventive actions, and also the acceptance of the product. Closing means transitioning of the deliverable from project to operations, and also closing down all the financial and legal claims. The 10 knowledge areas I told you: STC, QRR, PICS, scope, the amount of work which fulfills the requirement; schedule, the timeline you need to complete the project; cost, the budget requires to complete the project; quality, which fulfills the project requirement, not more, not less; resources, what you need to complete the project; communications, 90% of a project manager task is to communicate effectively and efficiently; risk, any uncertainty and how to cope up with is about risk management; procurement, whatever you will be buying for the project will be the project procurement management; anyone who is being impacted or will be impacted by the project will be our stakeholders. And as a project manager, I have to integrate all the stakeholders, all the processes, all the policies, all the procedures. So he is like joining the puzzle, is like joining the chain, so everyone or every entity of the chain can work together. So project manager is ultimate accountable and ultimate responsible for the project success, which contains the project integration management. All the tasks may be done, can be done by the functional managers, while integration and stakeholder management solely is the responsibility of project manager. Every project is unique, so as a project manager, if you have experience, you can tailor the project. You have to tailor the project because every project is unique. What is tailoring? Choosing the appropriate processes, methodologies which fulfills the project requirement, not more than that. We had three terminologies: work performance data, work performance information, and work performance report. We said, what is work performance data? When we will execute on daily basis, we will issue the work performance data, the raw form of information. When it comes to controlling guys, they will convert this data into information, where they will compile, analyze the data into information. Once they will recollect or collect all the information, then they will convert into work performance report, which is an electronic representation of compiled or analyzed data. These reports will be sent via communication to the stakeholders for reporting as well as decision making. So data was raw, information was analyzed data, and report is what? Electronic or physical representation of data. We had two important documents to start the project. Whenever we are going to execute the project, we need to have why we are doing the project. This thing is supported by a document called Project Business Case, where we document the economic feasibility, why we are doing the project, why we are undertaking the project, what is the reason behind the project. To support business case, we have benefits management plan, where we analyze the target benefits like net present value, internal rate of return, return on investment, payback period, benefit to cost ratio. And we said we will always select the project with highest values and least payback period. Benefits management plan also contains assumptions, risk, constraints, project management matrix with which you will measure your performance or the investment. Once we have these two documents ready, we will start working on the project charter. We can execute the project in multiple cycles. What is life cycle? Project life cycle, the collection of phases which will complete the project. So here, if you look, we have 5 phases. First, we will analyze, then design, then build, then test, then deliver. This approach or this life cycle is called as sequential life cycle. It's also called as predictive life cycle, and it's very good for the known projects where we have less uncertainty and you have been doing those projects several times. So you can do the sequential or overlapping relationship of phases accordingly. The next life cycle is iterative, where we make something and then we take the review and fix it. Then we go next, then we go next, then we go next. We are not coming back. In iterative, the final product is only, or the final deliverable will only be available at the end of the project or at the last phase of the project. Continuously, we will keep improving based on the feedback. That is what iterative. But final product will come at the end. So it was taking a lot of time and still uncertainty exists. So we brought up with incremental life cycle, where we were making something and we were delivering minimum viable product. That after some time, we will give you something which is usable and you can start using it or you can start working on it. So what we did, we took the feedback and we gave you to use it. We were doing the same thing, feedback and adapt, but here the things were consumable and they can also be used. We call it minimum viable product, which means it has at least the backbone ready to start working on it. Again, it was taking too much time and maybe the cost was not controlled also. So we had agile launched, where we have two types of agile: iteration based agile, where we have the fixed iterations for all the type of iterations, where we will complete the deliverable in one iteration. Once the iteration is completed, we will review it. If there are new requirements, we will put it in the product backlog, and then we'll continue delivering the minimum viable product and keep releasing the product as per the release or tentative release schedule. Everything is timed. The schedule is timed like 2 weeks, from 1 week to maximum 6 weeks iterations, and team sizes between 6 to 12 members. There is flow based agile, where you can continue the same thing, but if there are some cycles which requires more effort, so that particular iteration could be a bit bigger than that. So the last one was hybrid, which is the new version of PMI, which says that to keep the organizations connected, to keep the stakeholder satisfaction connected, it's better that those known things you can do as a predictive one, and those where you have uncertainties you can use agile life cycle. So they called it hybrid life cycle, that some part of the project you are doing in predictive, some in iterative, some in incremental, some in flow based agile, some in iteration based agile, and ultimately you are actually adapting according to the environment. Whenever we will execute the project, from PMI want us to be following the code of conduct and ethics. According to PMI, project manager has to own every single responsibility. Whatever happens inside the project, it's project manager responsibility and accountability. He cannot throw this to anyone. As a project manager, we have to respect every gender, every human, every religion, everyone. Once we are making decisions, we have to show the fairness, no decision making based on nepotism, favoritism, or gender based discriminations. And we have to do everything in honesty. We should not hide anything. We should not hide any conflict of interest. We are not allowed to take gifts except which are in the country's customer guideline. So, guys, this is the review of chapter number 1. Tomorrow morning, you will get the video of chapter number 2 and chapter number 3 accordingly. And on daily basis, as I said, you will keep getting the videos and you will keep getting the questions, keep solving them, and I'll keep giving the strategy throughout those 15 days. Thank you very much. Wish you best of luck. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you. Bye-bye.